6 weeks ago, I thought I'd lost $23,000 forever to a business partner who had been systematically stealing from our company for over a year. Today, not only have I recovered every stolen dollar, but I've turned his fraud into the foundation of a more profitable business than we ever had together. Here's exactly how I did it. I'm Madison Clark, and this story from Served Cold: 20 Stories of Perfect Revenge will change how you think about business fraud recovery forever. Meet David, whose catering partner Jake had been skimming money from corporate contracts, underreporting cash sales, and creating fake vendor expenses to funnel money into personal accounts. When David discovered the theft, most people would have confronted Jake immediately or hired an expensive lawyer for a lengthy court battle. David chose a different path that made him rich instead of poor. Week 1. Instead of confronting Jake, David started documenting everything while acting completely normal. He secretly copied bank statements, photographed altered receipts, and tracked every suspicious transaction. Jake had no idea his theft had been discovered. Week 2. David realized Jake's theft had actually revealed their most profitable client relationships and vendor partnerships. David began quietly reaching out to their shared clients, positioning himself as interested in expanding service offerings and improving quality control. Week 3. David discovered that Jake's embezzlement had created detailed records of which services were most profitable and which clients paid premium rates. David used Jake's own theft documentation to identify the highest value business relationships. Week 4. David offered clients a new premium service tier with enhanced oversight and accountability. Essentially, David was promising clients the honest service they should have been getting all along, while Jake was still stealing from the original partnership. Week 5. David had quietly secured exclusive contracts with 80% of their highest value clients under his new independent business. Jake was still unaware that his theft had been discovered and his client base had been systematically transferred. Week 6. David presented Jake with a choice: sign over all remaining business assets and client contracts in exchange for David's silence about the documented fraud, or face criminal prosecution for embezzlement. Desperate to avoid felony charges, Jake agreed to the complete buyout. The result? David recovered his $23,000, gained exclusive ownership of all business assets, inherited their entire client base, and eliminated his fraudulent partner, all without spending a dime on lawyers or risking a lengthy legal battle. But here's the most brilliant part. David's new business was making 40% more revenue within 2 months because he was no longer splitting profits with a partner who was actively stealing from their company. Jake thought he was stealing from David, but actually, he was creating a detailed map of their most profitable operations while driving clients toward David's more reliable service. Jake's theft became the foundation of David's independent success. This approach works because it turns fraud into market research. Embezzlers always steal from the most profitable parts of a business first. By tracking what they steal and how they steal it, you identify your highest value assets and most vulnerable processes. The lesson here, and this applies to every business fraud story in my book, is that thieves often reveal more value than they steal, but only if you're strategic about how you handle the situation. This methodology, using theft as business intelligence while building evidence for prosecution, is detailed across multiple stories in Served Cold. Every protagonist who succeeds turns their partner's betrayal into competitive advantage. David's strategy made him $23,000 richer and eliminated a toxic partner who was actively damaging their company's potential. Even if you only recover half of what's been stolen using these methods, you're still ahead of expensive legal battles that might not succeed. The book is $2.99 on Kindle, and it could transform how you think about business betrayal completely. Instead of just seeking recovery, you'll learn to seek profit. Instead of just punishing thieves, you'll learn to eliminate competitors. If someone has defrauded your business, don't think about revenge. Think about opportunity. Don't think about punishment. Think about profit. The smartest fraud victims don't just get their money back. They get ahead. Click the link below and get served cold now. Learn how to turn business theft into market intelligence, fraud into profit opportunity, and partnership problems into solo success. Because the best way to handle business fraud isn't to get even, it's to get everything.